Okay, so for those of us that understood what this requirement is all about, if we look at the requirement, I'm just going to go through it quickly. It says the nuclear reactor company recently hired a new director who is so much interested in the nuclear reactor reports. After much critique of the current reports, the director has proposed a re-engineering of the reports and the data. So here is the list of the requirements that we are going to do, what the new director wants us to do with our reports. So first of all, we have to re-engineer the data. Okay, so if I open up the current data that we have right now, in that first project, this is the data that we work with. Okay, and this was just the only report that we work with. Now, in the new requirements, the director is insisting that he needs to see the states of each location. He needs to see the region, which the state division, and the years each of the plant has been in operation. Currently, if you look at the data, we don't have them in here. Okay, the only thing similar to the states is what we're here, the location, but these are just the address of all of the location, but it does not give us the states. And in this file as well, if you look here, you will see that we have this. Yeah, okay, this is not the original. Let me close this. You guys will just have make me go back now and do this again. Okay. So let me go back and open the original data. And, okay, I'm looking for it right here. Okay, so this is the requirement I sent out. Everyone should have this. So we said the original data that we work with is this. If I open it up right now, you see that we only have this location here. There's no other location or state in this data, but the director wants us to bring in each of these. He wants to see the states, want to see the state region, and so on. And he wants to see the years of operation of each of these plants. How long have they been in operation? And if you look at the file, we have this data here that says years in operation. And this is all we have, nothing else. Nothing else. So going back to our requirements, we can see that they provided us with some files. This file says 50 states, region, and states. So if I open this up right now, we can see that we have all of the states, different kind of state data, including the states, the state code, and the capital. Okay, so basically they want us to bring in this data to identify each of the states for this location here. So the first challenge here is what? Dada, can you help us out? What is our first challenge? Comparing this data with this data.
I'm thinking, I'm trying to think of.
What is our fault? Because in this data here, we don't have no states. The only thing we have here is this total location, but it's not states. So how do we combine this data with this?
We need to do some joining, kind of.
Okay, so how? Because we don't have no relationship. This data here doesn't have no relationship.
So maybe since they don't have relationship, we can blend. We can
But
have,
even with blend, you still have to have a relationship before you can blend. Relationship blending is also joining, but it's just joining at the report level. You're not joining at the data source level, but
yeah.
you're just joining at the report level. That's what blending, but it's still join. Okay, good question. So, okay, let's look at the third data. We also have this state and region. Remember, the requirement says the manager wants to see the region for each of the plants. How many plants are in each region? Okay, so here, if we open up this, everybody please listen, okay? We're gonna just listen and understand the concept. It's very easy once you understand what we're trying to do, all right? If I open up this state and region file, so you can see that we have this file here that give us, no, where is it? Oh, it didn't open. Okay, so we can see that we have this file that tells us states, region, and division. So this is what the director is interested in, whether the plant is in west, south, north, and east region. So we have another problem here again. How do we use this region to locate each of these plants here, since we don't have no states, we don't have no relationship? But here is where you have to start thinking as an analyst, because nobody's going to teach you this. No, there is no way, there is no dictionary to say this is how you're going to do it. You have to be able to look at the data and say, okay, this is what I'm going to do. So we have to find a way to get at all of the, to bring out a relationship in this data for us to be able to join with all of this here. And if you look at this data, this location here, even though it does not have state in it, but it have state code in them.
Right.
Yeah.
It has state code. So for you, this will be your way to go. What you have to do is to do a data structure in here by splitting this column here, get out the state, name it state code, then you can use that state code to join with this data here. You're also using the state code here, because each of these state codes have their state here. Okay, and then we can also now use this state in this file to bring in, to look, to join with this state region, because each state have its own region. So we can use this state here to bring in this region. So once someone selects the region, it pulls in the state in that region. I'm pulling all of the data here for that state. That's what we're trying to do.
Yeah.
Any question? So here is to get your hand on ETL, extract, transform, and load. So what have we done now? So everybody, please take note of this for your interview. We have just extracted our data because we are supplied with this data here. So we have extracted our data right now. We are just examining them. We're going to use Tableau Prep to further extract all the data into one pool, and then structure them there, and then split out our data as one big file where we have all of the structured data. But before then, we have a lot of data, manual data structuring to do, a lot, because you cannot bring in, for example, this years of operation into Tableau, because Tableau does not know what this is, because there's no relationship here. And this is one challenge. Okay, so now this file says years of operation. So how do we know which year this 24, which plant they belong to? So for me, I can do some manual investigation. Again, this is not something that you do all of the time in the real life, but I'm trying to get you to understand how to investigate data and come up with a solution. So how will I solve this problem of knowing which plant each of these years here belong to in this data? The first thing I would do is to just look at my row counts. If I look below here, you can see that I have 98. Everybody, you see my mouse?
Yeah.
Yeah.
So we have 98 counts, each rows here. Now, the first row in the database is the title. So you don't count that as part of the data. Those are just the field describing the field in that column. So actually, we have 97 rows of data here, minus the headings. Do we get it? So
Yeah.
if we subtract the heading from the 98, we actually have 97 rows of data. So I'll just come in here and select only all of this data. So how many rows? We have 97 rows of data as well. Look at the counts. So this just tells me that this data was extracted from somewhere and it was extracted wrongly. So each of these years here actually belong to each rows of this data. Okay, that is my assumption. Okay, I will just assume that because there's no way for me to actually know unless I have access to where this data is being pulled from. But for now, since each rows, the way database is structured is each rows have its own unique record. So I'll just assume that each row here belongs to each rows of this data. That's my assumption. And in your report, you can make that note. Okay. Someone is asking a question. Okay, buyer on the way. Okay, all right. So now I will have to do a manual structuring here. So I will just come in here. Okay, I'll come in here. I'll just copy each of these rows here because I need something to be able to join this file to this file. So I'm just going to copy this and come in here. I'll scroll up all the way. So I'll start from the first row because I want to match each of those rows to these rows, all of this record here, not this this error here, or this ref, those are not part of the data. So I'll right click and I'll go to paste special. So this can give me, this will match each rows of data, just until we get to the end. So right now, if I expand it, I can see that I've been able to like manually align each of this record here to this years of record here. Okay, and you can tell that somehow we are on the right track. For example, if you look at this, let's say this row 63, Palovade nuclear something is unit 1. It has 43. Unit 2 have 40. No, that was not the one I was looking at. Yep. There was one that have the same. There was one that have the same. Maybe when we get to the report level, I will show you guys that. So this will be my solution on how to identify these years of record. So this title here, I can right click this and just delete this one. I don't need this. And I'll right click this. I don't need this. So here I'm going to name this this row here, I'll call this years of operation, or whatever you want to call it. And this, I will just come here and copy the same title here, because this will be my relationship between these two. And I'll paste this here. Okay, I've been able to structure this. And what I'm going to do is to save this. Now, in the real world, if you have a file that you try to structure or manipulate, whenever you make a change, don't overwrite the real data. Don't overwrite the real data. Always publish a copy separately. In case you make a mistake, you can refer back to the original for you to, like, backtrack where you miss your step. Okay, don't always overwrite the original. Even companies, they keep a copy of every files, and whenever they make a change, they keep a copy of the old one. Okay, so since I'm okay with this right now, I'm not going to click go to save as, and just save it somewhere. I can save this. Let me put this on my desktop. Let me put this on my desktop, and I'll call this nuclear reactor. I'll put something to differentiate. You can use today's dates to differentiate, or you can use like anything that will help you to differentiate this from the original. Okay. Now I'll go to the other files, like this state here. There's a bit of a problem here. Who can tell me? This data look good, but you can't bring this into database or Tableau Prep or any ETL tools. Who can tell me why? Everybody, please look at the dashboard and think, okay? Don't be shy, just say something. Who can tell me why?
It doesn't have the header.
Exactly, it doesn't have no header. And because if you bring this into database or ETL like this, the ETL tool will automatically take this first row as a header. And that will lead to wrong analysis, because Alabama is a state. So here we need to manually structure this as well. Okay, so what I would do here is to right-click. I'll right-click on the first lane. I'll click insert. So insert space, we push all of the data down and give me some rows, on top. So here I can manually just, okay, you can call this states, because since this is state all cap, state lower cap, you can differentiate and say states whatever, say state one, just to distinguish between this and this, but they are all states. And this we know is the state code. We can call that state code. And we don't know what this is. We can call this
state abbreviation, code abbreviation.
Absolutely, states abbreviation, something like that. And here we know that this is the capitals of the states, because I can tell. Look at Georgia, Atlanta, Alabama, Montgomery. So this will be the state capital. Okay.
Yeah.
Now, why am I showing you guys this process? Because sometimes you might have Excel file. Some companies still use Excel, because a lot of companies they are just about putting together their BI team. I have a project I'm doing now with the company, very big organization, but they are just putting together their BI team. So everything is still in Excel. So if you see some of those things in Excel, you should be able to just quickly fix it instead of you worrying or having problem in the report level. Just quickly fix it, edit, and just know what you're doing. That's why I'm taking you guys through this process. Again, this is not what you will be doing in the real life all the time. You might not even do this at all. Maybe because a lot of companies, again, they have structured data in their database. All you will do is to bring in your data, do your join, and then start doing your report. Okay, but this is good to know how to like manually structure data. You know, it gives you some experience. So I'm done with this. I'm going to save a copy of this. If you have questions, please ask, okay? Before we go too far. I'll, so I'm going to call these state file, right? State new whatever, or you can also use your date to distinguish. It doesn't matter. Okay, and save. And if we look at the other one, the last one, which is the region, this one is very much okay. So we have this. This is good. So now we are ready to bring in all of this data into Tableau Prep, which is where we are going. I want to show you guys how to use Tableau Prep to transform data, how to do your extraction, and make life easy for you if you have some large data sets. Okay. Now the videos that I told you guys to watch. How many of us watch those videos? Andy, did you watch the video? Hello.
Yes, I did.
Okay, so did you understand what joins is and type of joins?
Yes.
Okay. Okay. OJ is new. Okay. All right. So let's just dive into Tableau and bring in those data so that we can transform our data. So if you log into Tableau Prep, this is the first thing you're going to see. Okay. Very straightforward. Nothing complicated here. The first thing I'm going to ask you is to connect to your data. So let's connect to our data. And our first data is the reactor. Is it a CSV or let me look for it here. I'm not going to look for CSV test file. And let me look for the one that we just cleaned. Okay, this is, let me bring in the state. So once you bring it in, Tableau Prep just give you the metadata of that file. Then I'm going to go back in here, add the file. I think the reactor is Excel. So I'm going to use Microsoft Excel. And let me look for, okay, this is the data. This is the reactor. Okay, so we have the data. Now, because we have more than 3 tables in here, in this data here, Tableau Prep is asking me which of these table do I want to use, okay? So it's the same thing with Tableau Desktop. If you connect and you have so many tables, it's going to ask you to choose which table do you want to make use of. So in this case, we want to use the operation ROX table, right? Just drag that into your canvas. And we also want to make use of the years of operation. Remember, right?
Yeah.
Just drag that into here. Now we have one more file that we need to join. That is the state and region. Let me just copy these and put on my desktop. Copy. Okay, so let me go back to my data source and bring in that state and region. I believe that's also a test file. No, it's an Excel. Okay, let me. State and region. Okay. So now we have all of our files. Now, a very good habit is for you to name every step of your data transformation so you can easily keep track. Okay. So I'm not going to go first yet. This is our state file. Okay. I'm not going to call this states. Just leave it as states. Okay. And I'm going to click on this plus button here and add a step. Now we are adding a step so we can see our read data, and then we can do see the data, see some samples of the data. We can write a calculation here, okay? And then in this step, I'm going to call this as well. I'm going to name it states. I just call it states. So as I'm dragging this along, I can keep track of my state field. So here, this one right here is our what? Is our operation data. So I can just add a step here and call this step operation. And this one here is what? Our year of operation. I'll just call this year, call this years ops. And this one is our region. I'm just going to add a step. You can either rename the sheet or you can just start here and call this region. Okay.
Right. But it consists of state and region anyway, but so we decide.
Yeah, but no, we just want to keep a name for us to identify the file, you know.
All right.
You know. Okay, so now for us to do a join of all of this data, we have to create a relationship first of all. Now let's discuss join here. Let me. There are three types of join, okay? In any database, relational database, or any BI application, there are three basic, okay? We have left join, okay, right join, and inner join. Okay, so I ask you guys to watch those video and write a sentence of this type. Taba, can you share your screen or what? Let's see your note on this assignment, or just tell us what is left join, inner join, and right join.
I didn't type it, I wrote it down. I don't recall left join or right join. I don't recall that. I know they have a join where you combine two columns of data set in a union.
Okay.
Where you combine rows of data in two data set.
Okay.
I mean,
All
that's
right.
what I learned about join. I don't recall left and right.
Okay, all right. Andy.
Yeah.
If you watch those videos, tell us what you learn about this type of join.
On the video, I don't know if it's the same video, but the one I watched, the left to right joint were not explained.
Okay, okay, all right.
No. They talk about joining columns and rows.
Okay. Okay. All right, so let me explain. Let me, where's the insight here? Okay. No, sorry, let me do this again. I need to like, okay, I want it to be A, B, C, D, E, F. Okay, so this is table 1. This is table 2. Let me insert. Okay, let me do A, B, this C, and D. Okay, now this is table 1, and this is table 2. Okay. If I do an inner join, I hope I can draw here. Let me, yeah, I should be able to draw. Okay. So now, let's say I want to join these two tables. Okay. This right here is left join, and this is right join. Where is this? Where's my screen blinking? And this is the inner join. Okay. Are we following?
Yeah.
Now, if I do a left join, so this is table 1 and table 2. I want to join table 1 and table 2 using a left join. What I'm saying is, let me do something here. Oh, no. Let me do something here and put this as G. Let me put this as G, okay? If I do a left join here, okay, I'm typically saying, give me all of this table. Look at the table as left, okay? Table 1 is left and table 2 is the other side. So I want to join left here. So table 1 will come on my left side, while table 2 will be on my right. So I want to do a left join. So which table is on my left? Table 1. Table 2 is on the right. So and I want to join these two tables using a left join. So what I'm typically saying is, give me everything on this table where it is where table 2 is matching the data in table 1. So the outcome of my results will be what? A, B, C, D, E, F.
I love you.
And in these two, in table 2, it will bring in the data from A, B, C, because G is not in table 1. So it's going to exclude G.
Lucky.
Yeah.
I have a pictorial picture of what you're trying to do. Can I share your screen so that you can use it to explain?
Okay, hold on. Yeah, okay. You can share that. Okay.
Okay.
Okay. Do we understand? Are we following?
Yes.
So a left join will bring in everything in table 1 where it is matching, where there's a corresponding data in table 2. So
Can you see my screen?
no, I'm still sharing. Just
okay.
Yeah, just wait. Okay, you share your screen. All right, let them understand this one first, so they can easily follow that. Now, but if I do a right join here, what am I saying? I'm saying, give me everything in table 2 where it is matching, where there is a corresponding value or a corresponding matching value in table 1. So the outcome is going to be what? A, B, C, G. Okay. So here, what will be left out here?
EF.
Yes. GF. EF.
No, look at it. A, B, C, G. We have A, B, C, D, E, F here. So
DEF.
yeah,
GF.
D, E, F will be excluded.
EF, yeah.
Will be excluded because there are no corresponding matching value. Now, if I do inner join, what I was saying, give me where there's only corresponding value in table 1 and 2. Every other thing else will be excluded. So
I'm sorry, can somebody mute their mic, please? It's a lot of background noise.
please, if you have your TV on or your movie, please mute your mic, please. So if I do inner join here, what would be the outcome of my join?
Yeah. ABC.
ABC. So G will be excluded here and DEF will be excluded here because the only matching value is ABC here and ABC here. A lot of time you're going to be working with inner join, but have it in mind that a lot of those requirements, people who request for these things, they don't know this join. They will just tell you, join these 2 data, and you will do inner join. And at the end of the day, they will be saying something is missing, something is not there. Just know it's from your it's from your join. Okay. So you have to understand how the join works. Sometimes they might be saying this thing is not matching up. Some values are missing. If you join your data, go and change your data. The way I do in the real life, okay, I do like left join because I try to look at my data that holds all of the major data and all the other join data that just holds some kind of minor, I just do like a left join. So I have all of the data in my real data and just bring in the corresponding value in. I save myself a lot of stress if you know how to use this logic. But as time goes on, you start understanding this, okay? So at this point, Dada, go ahead and share your screen.
No problem. I just want to share so that you can use it to explain anyway.
Okay, Dada, just go ahead, share. Let's see.
Can you see my screen?
Okay.
All right. So this is just what you can take. We can go ahead and.
Okay, so this is just like table 1, table 2.
Yeah,
okay.
Left join, right join, inner join, outer
Inner
join.
join. So here we have Taylor, Alice, Shannon, and Tracy. In this table, we have Taylor, Alice, and Morgan. If you do this color here, is showing that this is a left join. So if you do a left join here, you're going to have Taylor, Alice, Shannon, and Tracy here. And here you will have the corresponding, because in this table, Alice is blue, Taylor is blue, Alice is brown. You will have the 2 colors, but because Tracy and Shannon is not here, you also have like no value for them. But this Morgan here will be excluded totally. You can see Morgan is not in the outcome.
Yeah.
Okay, but don't let it stress you. As you continue, you will continue to like understand. Okay, now there's another one here which I didn't explain. It's called outer join. Outer join means full join. It means bringing everything, whether they match or they don't match. I rarely see this case, but if your users are too stubborn and saying this is missing, just give them full join. Let them go and solve it out. Now, when you do full join, you're going to have a lot of null values. Like you can see here, you have null value here and you have null value here. Okay, but as you progress, you will understand how to do this gymnastic. Okay, if the problem is too much, final solution, do full join. Let's go and solve it out. Okay. Okay. All right. So now let's head back to Tableau Prep. Okay, because we still have a long way to go. All right. So let me share my screen. So do we understand join here? Left, right, inner. Let me even put full join here. Do we understand all of this join?
Oh, can you explain, please? Can you explain the inner join again?
Inner join means bringing the corresponding value from the two tables. For example, here, the corresponding value, inner join means join where this is equals to this. That's what it's saying.
Oh.
Where table 1 is equals to table 2. And where are they all equals? A, you see A here. B, you see B here. C, and you see C here. So G is not here, so it's going to be excluded from the results. And D, E, F is not here as well. They're going to be excluded from the result. So the only matching value is ABC, ABC. That's inner join. You get it?
Yeah, but the way you explain it is almost the same thing like the left join.
Left join means bring in everything in the left table, in this case, which is table 2, which is ABCG, where you have the corresponding matching value here. So the outcome, the result will be ABCG, ABC here. So DEF will be excluded because the DEF is not here, but we are going to bring in everything from here where it's only matching from here. Okay.
Okay.
All right. A lot of times you're going to be working with inner join. You know, Tableau default to inner join, but for me, I like to save myself. I don't like explaining some technical stuff to not technical people. And I'll show you guys what I mean as we proceed. So let's go back to our Tableau Prep here. So the first thing we should do here is we know that our data here is right. This is our main data right here. This is our main data because it holds the value of all of our data, right? So you can move this up. Just move this one up so you know that that's your main data right there. So now let's see if we can join this one right here. So we know that we have state here. So this we are not ready to join here. So the first thing that we need to do is to define a relationship in this table because we don't have no state, we don't have anything to join with all of the other data. So I will say that we can use the state location here. Okay. Yeah. So we're going to split this value here and extract this last code from it. Okay. So we're going to select that right-clicking here. You can just right-click here and set split value. Okay. You can select auto splits, but in this case, we don't want to use auto split. We want custom split because we want to tell Tableau how to split this table for us. Okay. I will say use the last, okay, last. And I want to split with the first. You see that we have comma or space. There's space there and there's comma here. So let's try to just put space here. Say, look at from the last. If you see space, split from there. So let's see if that will give us the result that we want. So I'll just click split. So where is our result? Go to the first. Good.
Yeah, so that's it.
It gives us everything that we want. You know. So, but right now we have a bit of parentheses here. Okay. So that might be something that we need to like either manually remove here, but we know that this one is looking good. So we need to further clean this one right now, right?
Okay. We can still split that, can't we?
Yeah, You can still split it, or you can just use find and replace.
Okay.
So there are many ways, a lot of tools. You can say, okay, let's split this. Let's try that logic, say split. Let's split this custom, and we can say from the last. And let's put the closing brackets. Okay, look for this and split from there. Let's see the outcome. Nothing,
No.
it didn't work. So let's
Go back.
let's go back and let's see if we can do the find and replace.
Can we do, how about if you do automatic splitting?
Yeah, you can. Of course, you can do. Let's do it automatic. Yeah, yeah, you can.
It works.
You can. You can. There are, remember what I always say. You know how to use all these different functionalities and see how it can easily work well for you. Okay, you can use find and replace. Also, okay, find this column here and replace with nothing. Remember how we did it in what was it called, in Power Query? Remember that?
Yeah, let's try it again. Let's try that one too. We know that this works, but we can still try that one as well too, as an option.
Yeah, this one works. So I was looking for that function here, find and I don't
Be
think
clean.
okay, we can
Okay.
no, not trim.
Clean space. Okay.
Yeah. I'm not seeing the find and replace in here, but since this work, let's okay, just leave it automatic split. So we don't need this table right now, okay? So I'll just go ahead and remove this table because we don't need it. This is what we need. Now we have to rename this and call this what? State code. Right?
Right.
So, but how many values do we have in here?
Arizona, Alabama, California, Connecticut, Florida, Georgia. Almost all.
Okay, almost okay. All right, good. So now we have this. So now we know that we can start joining all of these data together using this state code. Now the first thing we want to join is this. So in this place here, you can see that we have a lot of repetitive state. So here I can say I can exclude all of these state that I don't need. You can either come to the data source here and say, okay, I don't need this state, all of this state cap. I need the state code because you're going to be using that to join. This other state is well structured. I will need that. I don't need this state abbreviation, so I can just uncheck here. And if I come to my view, I only have these three. Okay. Or another way you can do it. Let me remove this. Let me select all here. If you don't want to do it like that, you can just come here and say, okay, I don't need this. Just right click and click remove. I don't need this. Right click and click remove. So you can either remove them from here or you can remove them from here. Okay. So this I'll just rename this to be states. And I know this is state code. So now I cannot join this with my original data using the state code. And because they are labeled
the same way,
Tableau will automatically pick them up. Okay, but let me do this way so that sometimes there are some fields that they are not, the field labeling is not the same, but they are the same data. And there are some fields that are the same label, but the data is different. Okay, so in this case, I can call these codes, state codes. And I want to join in here, I only have state code. So if I join right now, I want to do a join. Just drag this and drop here. Come on, drag and just drop it in the join. So you can see automatically it's joining on inner join. But if you look here right now, there's an error. That's because Tableau did not pick didn't find any common title, feed title to join with. That's why it's giving you error. So in this case, you know that in this field here, it is code that is the state code, but here is called state code. So what do? Just go in here and click on add, look for state code here, and click code in this other data here. You see the match. Okay, I do that purposely. Or let me go back in here. If the field are the same, for example, let's make this back to
state code.
Let me remove this and leave it as state code. If I just drag here and drop on the join, Tableau will automatically pick it up because it knows that this field and this have the same field. But you also have to be careful because sometimes, even though the fields are the same, the data might not be the same. So you have to have this foresight, but sometimes they might be different. So now, because it's doing inner join, if you look at our outcome here of our data here, you see in this state code here, there are 29 unique results, state 29. And in this other field here, there are 97. Okay, so in this state, it is excluding 21 field from the state files. Maybe there's no Wyoming, all these are not in this data here. But I don't want, now I said in the real life, I just like, even though here, there's no data being excluded from the main data here, I like to be on the safe side. I'll just click here and make it a left join because this is the data that we want to analyze. This is my own way, but you can do your own inner join. So I want to make sure that even though the data changes tomorrow, I want to have everything in the main data. So I'll just make it a left join. It does not change anything. I just want to be sure. So here we have our data here, and I'll add a step here to see the outcome of our data. So you now see that we now have our state code, we have our states, we have our state code here as well, and we have the capital. So this is looking good so far. We have successfully joined these two files. But if you look at this, we have two double fields. We have state code 1 and state code here. So I would just like to remove one. I don't like to have duplicate data or redundant data. So I'll just remove this. So
can we merge them instead?
If you can merge them, but you can merge them, but I just like to remove it. So now let's go to the next one here, the next file. We want to join, there's still one. Let me move this up a little bit so we don't have to keep. Okay, so how do we join this file here with this other file now? You can start anyway. You can join this and this first of all before joining with this. It doesn't matter. Okay, you have to start somewhere. So that's why I'm starting here. But now, how do we join this with this file?
We have to look for what they have in common.
Remember, we already structure this this field here to have to the same thing that we have. If you just drag this and drop in here, it's going to join.
Yeah.
Because remember the manual structuring that we did already.
Right.
So now, if you look at the outcome, so everything is coming in, inner join. Why do we have everything everything perfect? Because the same rows of data is what we have in that same field. So inner join here works fine. But for me again, this one here now, after joining here, this one here becomes my main data. Something might change in the future and you start having some data being excluded, I want to just save myself some time and just do a left join. But it does not change anything. You can see that the result is still the same.
Okay.
Remember, in the future, data do grow, data do change. If we change in the future, I still want to make sure that I have everything in the main data that we're trying to analyze. But you can still do inner join. There's no cause for alarm, okay? Do we get it?
Yeah.
Okay, so here now I'll add another step here to view the outcome of my join. And so here we have these two, because we joined these two tables, we're going to have two duplicates of the join field. We have the plants here, and we have this. No, where's the second one? Let me look for it. Plants. Okay, so we have these two duplicates. Like Dada said, you can just drag this and mesh them. Just drag this and put on top of this. They're going to merge. But again, I don't want to do that. I just like to exclude. Okay, remove. You can merge, you can exclude. It's up to you. But I don't want to increase the count of my data. I don't want to blow the size up. Okay, so to me, I try to reduce. For example, if you're working like with 1 million rows of data, those data is coming from two different sizes. Something like this can cause duplicates. It can cause increase the rows of your data. You never can tell how your data is going to behave based on some join. So for me, since I'm sure that I'm getting the right outcome here, which is 97 rows, which matches what I have in my original data, I'll just remove one. Okay, but you can still merge if you know what you're doing. Okay.
Yeah.
Now on this sheet here, we want to join with states.
Yeah.
So because we already have state in this data here, we cannot join all of this file here using the state from this file, which is already here as well. So let's see what we don't need. Okay, everything here is what we need, because we need the state, the region, and the division, like the director instructed in our requirement. So I'm just going to drag this here and join this with this again. And let's wait for the outcome. Okay, good. You can see now that we still have our 97 record in the original data, even though we are doing inner join. There are 22 states that have been excluded from this state file, which are not in the original file that we're trying to analyze. So they are not relevant to that state. Okay, so you can still leave it as inner join since this data is coming in correctly, and it tells you the join result 97. So remember, we have our 97 rows of record here. If you just count 97 minus the field 97, so we have our complete data here. So you can leave it like this and then click add a step here to view your data. Okay, and remember, because we join with state, we have state in this file and we have state in this file, we're going to have two fields called states. So I would like to clean my data and remove this one called state one, states here. I'll just remove the one that have state one because it's just redundant, it doesn't. And okay, so I think I have my data here. And what you can do in the real life is to review your data. If you right click on this outcome here, we can preview this data in Tableau desktop to see how it's going to look like. Do I have my Tableau set up? Let's see. So once you click on that, it's going to run and just open up in Tableau. And so you can preview how your data will look at your reporting level. Let's give it a few minutes. I hope I have my Tableau set up. Okay, let me quickly set up my, I think My Tableau is not set up. That's why it's doing that. Tableau 2020.4. Why this is setting up? Any questions so far on data cleaning ETL? Any question? Ask question. I'm going to take us further in this, okay? Because in Tableau Prep, remember, in Tableau level, you can create calculations in Tableau. So since we are already doing our transformation here, we can as well write our calculation here. And at the Tableau level, it's easy. We don't have to write any calculation. We've already done all of the work here. So that's something we're going to do. Okay, my tablet is not coming up. I'll leave it for now, okay? So now we have our data. Actually, everything looks great. So we have, okay.
It's coming up.
It's popping up. So instead of, remember, we have 4 files. Now we're going to have just one file that consists of everything in those 4 files. Okay. Now, what I also want us to do is how to write calculation in Tableau Prep. And in this calculation also, you can also write them in Tableau Desktop. If you say, okay, I don't want to waste my time writing this calculation in Tableau Prep level, I'll write my calculation at the report level. You can go ahead. You know, like we did, remember in the first requirement here, we wrote our calculations in the desktop level, but we can as well write everything. We can as well write everything at the prep level. So let's look at what we can write here. So the manager says the director would like to see a dashboard redesigned to reflect more KPIs, showing region core, regional core location now core. Who can explain this to us? Those that were in that class.
Which class? Last week class?
No, in this assignment that we did, the NRC region.
Oh, okay.
So what do you think the director is saying here? Want to see more
See the KPI showing
regional core. Now in bracket, you see core location now core. What do you think the director is saying? All you have to do is look at what you did in the in that previous class and see, okay, what is the director saying? I don't think I have it here. Okay, let me quickly see if I open it up from. No, I don't have it here. Okay, let me open it up. Remember this core location here. This core location. Can you see my core location? Yeah, here it was core location, but the director is just saying, now I want you to call it core, no more core location. Okay.
Okay. You could have just made it simple English. Rename core location to.
People don't have to speak the same English that you speak, but it's your own duty to understand what they want. You know, save yourself the stress. So here it now says redefine core logic. Remember, in our core before, let me just open up, let me download this. Let me download this workbook so we can open it up. Remember the logic in that core location was to say if it is 1 or 2 or 3, then core, else. Just give it a minute, let it open up. Okay. So where is our call location? Right here. Where is it? Call location. Edit. So here is if it contains this, then California. If it's this, then this. This was how we define our call location. But the director is now saying no, he doesn't want this definition. He's changing the definition of this logic. So what he's saying now is if plant license megawatt is less than 20,000 megawatts, terminates. Okay, if plant license megawatt is between 2,000 and 3,000, then those ones is relocate. You see, so that is what he is doing. He's trying to make us do. So, like I said, you can either write this in Tableau desktop level, or you can just write it here. So let's see if we can do it here. I'll call this core because he wants us to rename this core. And where is our plant was? No, where is the MW? The license megawatt, okay. First of all, I need to see how this plant megawatt is defined. Huh? Okay, is
license megawatt.
Yeah, so this is their output is showing as attributes. Okay. Okay, let's see if we can call it out first of all. So let's call this core, and we're going to say if license megawatts is less than 2,000, then we call this terminate. I'm not going to put n here. Let's see. Okay, it seems valid, right?
Yeah.
And then we're going to say what else? As if license megawatt is
less than equal to less than.
Is it less than? No, remember, this one says less than 2,000. So
yeah, let's look at the requirement.
Equal.
If it's greater than 2,000
and less than 3,000.
So now, okay, so what if it is 2,000? Where will it be? This is less than 2,000. This is greater than 2,000. So if it's 2,000, then it's going to be null because we didn't classify where 2,000 will be. So for me, I save myself a lot of time. I'm not going to say if it's equals to or greater than or equals to 2,000 and
less than and equal to.
Exactly. And license megawatt is less than or equals to 3,000. Then that is what? Can someone open up the requirements so we can move faster? Relocate.
Relocate.
Okay. Let's see if that is right. Seems right. Then I'm just going to just copy this to save my time. Paste. And this one is what now? If it's now we can also, this one says if it's equals to 3,000. Remember?
Yeah. So we still need to see the requirements. Okay, 3,000 and 4,000.
Yeah, so here I'll just put because here it's going to specify 3,000. You see equals to 3,000. So I'm just I can just put less than 3,000 here. Let me put less than 3,000 here. So here I'm just going to put equals to or greater than 3,000.
Oh, okay, yeah, I get the logic.
Yeah. And then what's the next one?
4,000.
4,000.
Then exception. Let's do exception.
Less than 4,000. This one is what?
Exception.
So else, what is the rest?
4,000.
No, I think that should be the. Okay, anything greater than 4,000 is core.
Oh, yeah.
Okay. Okay. Else, everything else is core. So if I save this right now, let's see. So we can see that our calculation is working well. If I click on exception, these are the all the state that falls within the exception, relocate. So you can see how many values are falling within those space. But if you don't want to write it this way, you can also write it in Tableau. But for me, I think I'll just structure everything here. So in Tableau, you're going to be like drag and drop, just drag and drop for me. I don't have to do anything. Again, everybody, don't worry. We will all have to do this again. I just want you guys to see what Tableau Prep can be used for. It's very easy to use if you understand, the logic. We're going to do this again tomorrow. Everybody, Andy and Taba, we're going to use one of your screen to do this tomorrow. And you guys can work together and just share knowledge. Get your hand dirty on it. So what is next on our requirement? Something that we can do here. The director needs opinion on how best to present cost table region. Okay, number of plants.
By call, state.
Okay, so we can also just write a calculation to say how many plants do we have here, right? Let me see this. Let's create this and say number of plants. And we just do count. Do we do count D or count?
Counting. Distinct.
Let's just do plant name. Okay. No, it's not doing. Okay. I know. I know what's going on. Yeah, some function that you cannot use in Tableau Prep. Okay. But there's a bypass for it. Let me use the fix plant number count the plant number. Okay, because if you are doing some calculation at the data source level, you need to specify at which level to count. Okay, that's what this is doing. But this result is the same thing as count D in Tableau Desktop. Yeah, go ahead.
This LOD, maybe we still have some time to go through it again, because look, I've noticed that every other time we have issue is always the saving the savior.
Yeah, okay, all right, we'll go to that. We'll go to that. We'll go to that. Okay. So this should give us plants. No, it should give. Okay, this is just going to give us one for each plant, but it's going to show up in 97 rows. Okay, that's what this is. So, like I said, I hope I can preview my data now. In Tableau Desktop, let's see, it should pop up. Okay, good. So it's popping up. We just want to preview what we did so far. If I bring in a number of plants here, it's giving me 97, which is good. Like I said, this is the same thing as count D. And if we bring in our what's it called? Our core. Let's see our core here. Oh, so we see that right now we have 3 state core, exception, terminate 7, and so on. Good. You know, and which other calculation did we do? And if you want to say, let's test our state to see which state do we have all of these. Okay. So we have in this state, we you know, it's coming out good if we bring in our state code to make sure they all align. Yeah, we have Florida, Georgia, Iowa, Missouri. Yes, it's looking good so far. And
the region. Let's bring in the region.
Let's bring in the capital for the capital. Albany, New York, where's Georgia, Atlanta, okay. And then the regions, to see which region they all falls in. Let me put the region here in front. So you can see Midwest, Northeast, West. Does this look right or wrong?
It's right.
It's right. So we successfully create our data. We do some manual validation, and it seems okay. So now I can just close this because it's not our final output. And I know everything here look good. I'm just going to click on the next one here and click outputs. Here is where I want to spend some time for us to understand. Now, in the real world, you can either output your data as a Tableau have its own data source, which is the hyper or extract. You can either, if you want to create a Tableau hyper or extract, it's only Tableau that can use that data source because that data source is designed for Tableau. Okay, and you can either publish that data on your local machine or on Tableau server. So for you to do that, by default, you see here, the Tableau Prep default to Tableau data extract, which is the hyper. Okay, and you can also decide to output your data as a CSV. You cannot output your data in Excel because Excel is limited in terms of rows. So you can either, let's say you want to output your data so that other people can use the data, or let's say I want to output my data and share with Saba or share with Femi. I can just output in CSV file and share with them so they can take that data and do their own analysis or whatever they want to do. But if I publish as a Tableau extract on either on my machine or my server, I can also share with them, but they cannot use it elsewhere except for Tableau. But for CSV, they can take that CSV elsewhere, like in Power BI, in Domo. They can do table pivot or convert it to Excel, however they want. But once you publish in Hyper, you cannot do that. Okay. And also another way, you can also write this data to a database. For example, now I can say, okay, I want to write my data to a SQL database. This is where you guys need to like start getting interest because Tableau Prep is a full ETL tool. You can use it to do data integration. For example, pick up data from multiple sources, clean it, transform it like what we just did, and speed that data into database. I have a database on my machine here. Let's see how to write this data into a database. Let me see, Management Studio. I hope I can still remember the SQL. Okay. So in your interview, if they ask you how have you used Tableau Prep, reference what you've done. You pick up data from multiple sources, unstructured data, dirty data. You transform the data using different logic, right? Your calculation, and then you spit out your data in CSV as a Tableau Hyper, and most time you write the data into SQL Server as a backup. Okay, and you can even say that we've used Tableau Prep to do data integration, like what we just did now. Okay, what is data integration? We have our data here came in Excel and CSV files. So we use Tableau Prep to pick up those data, transform it. Now we want to integrate that data into SQL Server.
And that's load.
Yeah, that's load. Okay. So integration has to do with like picking up data from another residence or another domain, transforming it and transferring it or loading it into your new home. So now I want to make this data, I want to make SQL the new home of this data that we just transform. So all I have to do is copy my server name here, just copy it and connect. So right now you're going to see that if I go to my database here, I only have two databases, Inline and Superstore. Okay, here. But now we want to create another database in here. So I'm just going to go back to my, let's say I want to attribute this data as a database table. I'll click here. Let's see if it allows me. I'll click on connect to server. Here are the type of database that you can write to for now. And I want to write this data to SQL Server. I'll click on SQL Server. So you're going to ask me for my credentials. So remember, I copied my server name, so I'll just paste it here. And click login. So now I'm into that database. It's going to ask me which of this database do I want to write it. But remember here in my database here, I have this airline. I have Superstore. So let's see if where do you want to write it? You can as well just pick either airline or Superstore. Now, all of this here, like the master model, all these are just default database that come with SQL Server. So a lot of time, don't write to those places because these are just defaults. Okay, like all this management, but always create your own. Okay, I can create a new database like by clicking on database here and creating a new database. So I can just call this like
nuclear
reactor. Yeah, let's call this nuclear data. Nuclear reactor. Okay, let's stay with that. Stop and click owner. It doesn't. I just leave that. Here you can define the keys and all that, but for me, I just leave it and click OK. So right now I have my database in here. So if I click on it, you click on my table, you can see it's still empty. There's nothing there yet. Okay. So if I go back to my here and let's see if I can refresh again. Because I've already logged in here, it's going to ask me, let's go back in here and choose this again and log back in again. We should be able to see our new database. But a lot of time, don't go creating your own database. Your database admin will do all that. Any requirement, they will tell you where to publish your data, okay, in the database, okay? But I'm just showing you how to do this. So now you can see that our new database is here. So I'm not going to click this. This is where I want to click save it. Now it's going to ask me to select or enter a table name. So I want to call this, let's call this combine
NRC.
It doesn't matter. Let's just call it transform NRC data. Okay. You know, you can call it anything, you know, but let's just say NRC data. Okay. And I'll select this right now. Okay. So here it's going to ask me, do I want to write, is this a new table, or is this, am I creating a table? Now for the first time, because we are just writing this to the database, we're going to create a new table because it does not exist before. Okay. All right. Now let's say
append mean.
Hold on. Yeah, we're going there. Now let's assume that later on you came back and you transformed some new data. You have some new data maybe for the current month or for the new month, and you want to add that data to this one already in the database. You will now go to append. So it will add that data to this existing one. Okay. Now, but let's say you made a mistake and you have to redo all of this process again, and you want to overwrite what is in the database. Like, then you're gonna use replace data.
Okay.
Okay. So now we are writing a new table here. So see, it's mapping our flow to the table that we have. This is what that is, and we can click run. Boom. So if I come back to my database and click on refresh, so if I go to my table right now, we have our data here. So if I want to view my data, if I click on select for 1,000 rows, even though it's not up to 1,000 yet, we can actually view our table. This is our data here. So now, if you put this in your database, you can now connect your Tableau here directly to that. Let's say I want to connect to that data that we just published here. I don't want to publish anywhere. I can just, okay, let me connect to my SQL server. I'll click sign in. Okay, I'll select my database, which is in nuclear reactor. And I have my data right here. And see, I can start building my report. So my data is now housed in the data warehouse. Now I can connect to it. Or another way that you can go to say, okay, for example, what some people do is to say, okay, I want to use my database as a backup or for other analysis. I will just create another output here to say, okay, I want to create, I'll call this my SQL Server, what's it called now, output. SQL Server output. And then I want to put a copy of this data as a Tableau hyper on Tableau server so that I can just, you know, I want to like, I want this data available on Tableau server. You don't have to do that. It's just optional. So I'll call this Tableau hyper. And here I have to click here. I have to go configure. I want this to be, I want to save this as a Tableau hyper. And I want this to be public data source. So here is where it's going to ask you your Tableau server for your organization. You enter your server credential, and then it will take you to your data, your Tableau server, and then from there, publish your data there. Okay. But now I don't have the Tableau server, so I can't publish. But in this instance, I'm not going to, which one am I? Okay. This was the one that we published. Okay, so in this instance, let's say, okay, I want to give a copy of this data attribute to you guys in the team. I want to be able to like share using CSV. So I want this one here to be CSV file. I'm going to click CSV attribute. So here I have to come here and configure my data. I want this to be like file. I want this to be a CSV file. And I want to come to location here and tell Tableau where to put this file for me. So let's just say I want this to be on my desktop. Okay, I'll call it NRC file. Okay, and I click accept. So now this two file is ready. So I can click this one right here and it will run the file. But if you have multiple attributes that you want to attribute, you don't have to click them one by one to run. Once you configure where you want to put the data, you can just click this run flow here. It will run all of the flows at once. So if I click on this right now, I think it's going to override what I did before. So it's asking me, do I want to replace? Yes. So now it's going to run T2 flow, and I have, if I come to my desktop, let's look for the NRC file. It's right here.
Yeah.
You see it? And it put it in the database at the same time and on the desktop.
Lucky.
Yeah.
The SQL query on top, that's this thing that you just closed now.
Which one?
The output that you just go from the Microsoft server.
This one?
Yeah, the SQL query on top.
This one?
Yeah, that's a custom query, right?
No, this is just you see, you can see is hashtag out. This is just to tell you that this script is you selected top rows.
2000, okay.
Yeah, this is not custom SQL. Yeah, no. We are just saying just to preview our data in the database. Don't worry, we'll go through some here. H0 is now a guru in query. So I'm going to drag out here to show you guys how to custom query, you know.
Yeah.
Yeah. So any question on Tableau Prep? Now, let's look at our requirements so far. What we just did so far is just to re-engineer our data. And we touch base on this, on the few things that we can do here. Now, we've not answered the main requirements. No, now our data is ready. Now we have to jump into our requirement. And remember, data problem is, there's a problem, you profile the data problem, and then you show your solution in terms of visualization. So we now need to develop a report off of this re-engineering. So any question, I don't expect the new guys in class, but those of us that were here when we did that nuclear energy, I expect you guys to ask questions. Because you guys are going to do this on your own, these requirements, on your own, strictly. I'm going to do it away because I find this challenging, because look at what the director is saying. He says, redesign, you want to see KPIs, and it's asking you for your inputs. There's a price for the old base. There's a price, the best dashboard, the best analytics for this. You know, for the new ones, I'm sure Andy is going to compete with you guys, and it would be a shame if he beat you guys hands down on this requirement. Okay, so ask question. Any question, Taba? Any question? What is did you understand this whole process? Even though we're going to do it again tomorrow, but you guys will do it. I will just watch and contribute. Any question? Any question? Chidi?
Prof, I have a question.
Okay.
Yeah, when you want to join, it says you have to you can only join from one data source. So, but when you were doing it, you were bringing the states, like you brought like 4 files or data source. I don't know.
You can join as many files as you want to join, especially if you see custom SQLs, they will join tables that you don't even know where they exist. They will join them using inner join, left join. You can join as many as you want. But what I said is, before you can join any table, there must be a relationship between that table and the table that you want to join. There must be a common relationship. There must be something for you to join them with. If not, it's not going to work. There's another kind of join called union. That's a different story. I mean, a different class on its own. Unioning. We're going to do something on unioning, okay? How to union data. Unioning is like putting block of data on top of themselves. It's not like this kind of join. But when you want to join tables, there must be a relationship for you to join. Like, remember, at first, there was no relationship in this big file. We have to find a way to split up of this state code to create a relationship for us to now join with all of the states. And this year of operation, there was no relationship. We just have to use our common sense to say, okay, this is where this data belongs, and we create our own relationship. If not, there's no magic. Only God can join this data without no relationship. Aside of God, there's nothing you can do. But you can join as many tables as you want. So as long as they have a relationship. Any question? But do we understand the concept of what the director is looking for here and the solution that we arrive at?
Yeah.
Who said yes?
Hi.
Huh?
Hi, Dada.
Okay, so, okay. Andy, are you there?
Yes.
Do you understand what we just did? At least, do you understand the whole logic?
Yeah, I'm trying to catch it. Yes.
Okay, but remember, we haven't even started with the main report itself. This was just to transform the data.
Yeah.
Okay, so again, I purposely did this so that we'll give you guys a hands-on on data transformation, how to like clean up data, transform data, and do some join using Tableau Prep, because a lot of companies are deploying. Listen, in the real world, a lot of time it's going to be so simple, so simple. There's a job I'm doing right now, okay, and the manager actually told me that he's so impressed with what I'm doing. You know, he likes it. I'm catching up so quickly. In my mind, I'm just laughing. And listen, the job itself, I don't touch the job until like 4:30, and it takes me literally 30 minutes to work on the dashboard and publish and just sign out. And he's so impressed. To me, I was like, really, if this is the definition of impressed, then, you know, that's what tell you, you know, when you take out time to learn the difficult way, in the real life, it becomes so simple. You know, it becomes so simple because in the real life, the data are already structured. It's just for you to like do some minor calculations, bring them together and publish. And with Tableau Prep, it's very easy. Okay, so don't get this twisted. Okay, we're going to do more.
Do we still need to transform in real life? Transform the data?
No, but what if I said if you are pulling data from this database, companies put structured data, clean data in their database, but there might be at times where they want you to like join let's say a table from this nuclear with this superstore and from this airline using some logical calculations. Now, a lot of people that know how to use custom SQLs to write all this long list of SQL, they can do that. But what if you can do it? Use Tableau Prep, bring in your data, pass in your logical calculations, and spit out that data on your own.
I don't feel.
Why the fear? God. This is why I said practice. What I did here, it's so simple. A lot of times you're not going to be doing this kind of transformation. No, the data is already there. But
Thank
you're
God.
going to do some join. You cannot escape joining data. You can also join, in Tableau level here. You can do your join here without having to do transformation. I can bring in another data right now and just drag in here, and it's joined. I can set to join these two data, and that's it. You don't have to do it, but again, it makes life simple for you once you know this thing is part of what they expect you to know. But it's very simple. Don't get it twisted. Don't get it twisted. Again, there is no school where you say, okay, I went to learn all this thing. No school, but it just common sense. The join it just common sense. That is here. Did you know anything about all this data cleaning before you start working? We all learn it in the class. We all learn it. Like I said, Ejiro is now a master of SQL. We just did some kind of simple SQL in class, but Ejiro wrote some a custom SQL, and when she showed me, I was like, really? I hate writing custom SQL, but she's writing it now. There's nothing there. It's just for you to understand the logic.
Yes,
Okay,
boss.
that's why I said tomorrow we're going to redo this again. You guys are going to do it. Okay, you're going to do it, and over the weekend, practice it. Look at the requirement. Okay, data re-engineering, bringing these 4 files together. Now you look at the data. How do you bring them together? There's no relationship, but you define your own relationship. If you do it on your own and you understand it, then you can do anything. We are going to do another one using the sample superstore. Okay, join and unioning. But once you understand this, this is to me a bit complex. But if you understand this, you're okay. You don't have to be afraid of anything. So get your hands on it, practice it. I gave you guys some resources to watch. You guys don't watch it. If you guys have watched some of those YouTube videos, I said go on YouTube videos and watch the training on Tableau Prep. Everything I learned the Tableau Prep using those YouTube resources. Okay. If you have watched it, if you have taken time to watch that video, this would be, it will be, we have like 1 hour, 30 minutes practice, but I said, watch this 40-minute one. Okay, and there are other videos there. Look at what this one said. It says, cooking data with Tableau Prep. You see, it's cooking it to make it done. And just a simple drag and drop, okay? So let's put in effort this week and understand this basic logic, all right? But tomorrow we're going to redo this again. I expect everybody get your Tableau Prep on, okay? Somebody's going to lead. It might be Femi, call me like 6 o'clock tomorrow, okay? I'll spend 1 hour with you to set up your Tableau and show you some stuff, okay? But don't let this confuse you because you are joining us halfway, but it's going to make a lot of simple sense, okay? All right.
Yeah.
OJ.
Yes, Lucky.
Yeah. Any question?
A whole lot.
Okay.
I joined the class.
We were supposed to do this last week Friday, but a lot of you we are on vacation, so so I also took like 2 days vacation. So, but we're going to spend time on it. Don't get it twisted. But ask question now. What's your first question?
I don't even know because I didn't start with the class, you know.
Okay, I'll post this video of this class tonight before I sleep. I'm not going to sleep yet. I'll post this, watch it, but I watch this video, especially this 40-minute video. Write something down. Okay, it's going to help you a lot. It's going to help you. You know, right now, there are some job requirements. They're looking for Tableau Prep developer. Me, Tableau Prep developer. Just somebody that knows how to use Tableau Prep, put data, and put it somewhere in the database. That's it. That's all they're looking for. And the pay you 6 figure. You understand? I have four full-time job with me right now. Even the third contract that they're trying to offer me full-time. I don't know if I'm going to take it, but they pay well. I mean, why would I say no to good money? You know, imagine 4 full-time job between 8 and 5 in the evening. I'm done. I'm done. So I'm not saying this to encourage you people. I mean, learn it, give yourself to it, and practice. When I say do the assignment, do it, practice it. It's not, I don't mean to be mean. You just to get your hand dirty. Okay? Saba, any question? Saba, are you there?
No,
Okay, so do you understand the whole concept?
I'm gonna watch the video and just try to grasp it.
Okay, all right. So I'll post the video. But first of all, if I were you guys, I'll try and watch this video. This one right here while you are with me to post the video. Okay. And
Yes, boss.
Femi, I'm
Yeah.
going to send you the if you go to our, we have a website where we post our videos. It's going to be on this website, earlyanalytics.com. I'll send this to you. So if you go in here and go to training recordings, there's a password that you need to enter. I'll test that to you so you can watch our previous classes and start getting yourself up to date, you know, before, you know, just to help you prepare you, you know, for your own session. All right. But I'll send this to you. Okay.
All right.
And this class, tonight class is also going to be in that website. What's the BIT
capital
Yeah,
case training 2020.
Is it
all right,
2020?
so once you come in here, you can click on the dates and the topic that we did. You see here, okay?
Yeah. Yeah.
All right.
Thank you.
Okay. All right. Any question? I know it's a lot, but just relax, drink a whole cup of water and relax. There's no big deal. We are going to get this straight tomorrow. Okay.
Lucky, what time should I catch up with you tomorrow?
Catch up with me after you send me like Zell. Zell will motivate me to.
Okay,
You know,
guys.
but let's chat. I'll be playing tennis in the morning, but after then I should be free.
That's good. Okay, no
All
problem.
right.
Thanks.
All right, man.
Good night.
All right. So you all have a good night, and
All right.
I'll catch up with you guys tomorrow.
Yeah. Thank you.
Yeah.
Thank
Good night,
you.
everyone.
Yeah.